Wix just released a brand new editor, and if you had Wix site for more than 5 minutes, I'm guessing you've either already seen the pop-up about it or were just about to send me a panicked message asking what it means. I'm going to tell you exactly what Wix Harmony is, whether it's actually good or just another thing Wix launched to confuse everyone. But first, and this is important, I'm going to tell you the one thing about Harmony that Wix is not advertising loudly, because it affects every single person watching this who already has a Wix site. Stay with me. We're getting to that in about 2 minutes. Section 1. What even is Wix Harmony? So Wix Harmony launched in January 2026, which means it's only a few months old. It's their newest editor, and it's different from everything they've released before. Here's the simplest way I can explain it. Wix has always been a drag-and-drop builder. You move stuff around, you click things, you make your site. Harmony keeps all of that, but adds an AI layer on top called Aria. And Aria isn't just a chatbot. It actually does things in the editor for you when you ask it to. So you can literally type, "Make my hero section cleaner," and Aria will redesign it. You can say, "Add a contact form here," and it shows up. Is it perfect? No. We'll get to that. But the bigger picture is, Harmony is Wix's answer to the vibe coding trend, where people are building things through conversation and prompting instead of manual clicking. They're trying to get ahead of what website building looks like in the next few years. Makes sense strategically. Whether it works in practice is a different question. Section 2. The thing Wix isn't saying loudly. Okay, here's the part I mentioned at the start. If you already have a Wix site built on the classic editor, you cannot move it to Harmony. At least, not right now. Wix has confirmed that migration from the old editor to Harmony is not currently possible, which means your existing site stays exactly where it is. That's the good news. The interesting news is that these are now two completely separate editors running in parallel. New users who sign up for Wix today will be onboarded into Harmony by default. Existing users stay in the classic editor unless they start a brand new site. So Wix is essentially running two different products at the same time, for the foreseeable future. What that means for you practically. If you're thinking about redesigning your site, or starting a second site, or helping a client set one up, you're going to encounter Harmony. And it is generally different enough that knowing how to use the old editor doesn't fully prepare you for this one. Section 3. What's actually different in the editor? Let me just show you what it actually looks like. The first thing you'll notice is that it's cleaner. Way cleaner. The old Wix editor has menus everywhere. Left sidebar, top bar, panels inside panels. Harmony strips a lot of that away and puts a dynamic action bar at the top that changes based on what you click. So if you click a text element, the bar shows text tools. Click on image, it shows image tools. Click a section, it shows layout tools. It's context sensitive, which sounds small, but if you've ever gotten lost in the old editor looking for one specific setting, this is a big deal. Aria lives in the bottom right corner. You can open a chat with her at any time. And this is where it gets interesting. She's not just answering questions. She can make changes. I asked her to generate a new design, and she added it. I asked her to change the font style across the page, and she did. It's generally impressive when it works. When it doesn't work, which happens, it's a little disorienting because you're not sure if the prompt was wrong or if the feature just doesn't exist yet. Here's my honest take after spending time in here. Harmony is clearly built for someone starting from zero. If you're new to Wix, it is significantly more approachable than the classic editor. But if you've been using Wix for years, there's a learning curve. Not because it's hard, but because your muscle memory is all wrong for this interface. Section 4. Who should actually use Harmony? Let me break this down into 3 types of people, because the right answer generally depends on your situation. If you already have a Wix site that's working, do nothing. There's zero pressure to switch. Your existing site is not going anywhere. Wix isn't deprecating the classic editor anytime soon, and starting over in Harmony just to try it out is not worth the disruption. If you're building a brand new Wix site from scratch right now, this is actually worth considering Harmony for. The onboarding is faster. The AI-assisted setup gets you to a first draft quicker. And if you're not attached to any previous Wix habits, Harmony is legitimately the better starting point, especially if you lean into Aria for the heavy lifting early on. If you're a Wix designer or someone who builds sites for clients, you need to know Harmony exists and have at least played with it, because your clients are going to start asking questions about it. You don't need to rebuild your workflow around it, but going in blind to a client call is going to feel awkward fast. There's also a fourth situation I want to flag, and this connects back to something I mentioned earlier. Section 5, what Wix isn't advertising. Earlier, I said there's something Wix isn't advertising loudly about Harmony. Here it is. Harmony right now is only available in English. Wix has said they plan to expand, but as of today, if you're building a multilingual site or your audience isn't English speaking, you're limited. For a lot of creators and small businesses in the US, UK, Canada, that's fine. But if you're building for a market outside those zones, this is a real constraint that marketing language glosses right over. Second thing, there are still apps and features from the classic editor that aren't available in Harmony yet. Wix has a list and it's not short. So if your site relies on specific Wix apps, check the list before starting anything new in Harmony. I'll link the official list in the description below so you don't have to go hunting. Both of these will probably be resolved over the next 12 months. Wix is clearly invested heavily in Harmony, but probably resolved later is not the same as works for you right now. Don't let the shiny new launch make you commit to a tool before it's ready for your specific use case. Section 6, my actual take. Look, Wix has launched a lot of things over the years. Some of them stuck, some of them quietly disappeared. Wix ADI, Wix Studio for developers, various editor updates. The pattern is, Wix builds something, it's confusing at first, and then it either becomes essential or gets folded into something else. My read on Harmony? This one's sticking. The AI direction is where everything is going, and building a drag and drop editor with an AI layer backed into it is the right bet for 2026 and beyond. But this is going to be great in 18 months is different from you should change your workflow today. Know the difference. If you're new to Wix, start in Harmony. If you have an existing site, stay where you are and keep an eye on it. If you build for clients, get familiar with it without fully committing yet. That's the actual answer. Not the most exciting take, but it's the honest one. Speaking of honest takes on Wix, I'm doing a video next week that a lot of you have been asking about. It's the Wix pricing breakdown, specifically which plan actually makes sense for your situation in 2026, and which one is quietly overcharging you for stuff you don't need. The answer surprised me when I ran the numbers, so that's going live soon. If you want that one the day it drops, the best way is just to make sure you're subscribed. The bell actually does matter for channels this size because YouTube doesn't show everyone every video.